No, you should not pull on this banner. Almost nobody playing this game should pull on this banner. Now, that's not saying that this banner is garbage, but let's kind of talk about it more. So, here's the thing. Inanna is insanely powerful, yes. However, Xavier or Xavier, I like him. He's one of my favorite visual styles of characters. He's very cool. And I think he's even fun to use, but I honestly think he is like in the running for one of the worst characters in the game. Maybe he's like, I don't know, maybe he's good in PvP. I don't know. He just doesn't seem to be good at a lot of things. He seems kind of like a pie in the sky. So I'm going to quickly go over each of these characters. This isn't going to be an in-depth guide. We're just kind of going to be breezing through their main identity, what it is that they do, to kind of help you decide if you should pull on it and why I don't think you should. So before we get into Inanna, which is the reason almost everyone would pull on this, let's actually just take a look at Xavier. Now, I do happen to have both these characters, coincidentally. I don't know how that happened. No, I actually did get Xavier on a different banner. I don't remember which one, who I was going for at the time. Doesn't matter, but here we go. We got Xavier. So what is his primary kit here? So he is solo carry, right? Basically, he gets stronger the more enemies that are around him. He gets stronger attack-wise, not defense-wise. I mean, kind of. He has a reaction that gets good at that too. But basically, if there are multiple enemies around him, he's going to get increased attack. And then if he ends his turn or starts his turn, he is going to get an additional 30% damage. Now, when it says ends his turn, I don't know if this lasts until his next turn starts, because I don't use them enough. But if he has to start his turn, like if he ends his turn and this is only like during enemy turns with his like hit back attacks or whatever, his strike backs, then this is awful. If this does last through his next turn, it's like reasonable. I mean, to be completely honest, like if you get him up to 3 stars, which is pretty easy to get, you know, if you get that 24% attack and then that 30% damage, I mean, that's a lot, right? The issue is he doesn't really have that much going on outside of that. So this is like a unit. They specialize in killing trash mobs. At doing large AoE damage, but not enough AoE damage, in my opinion, to kill things that are actually hard to kill. So, you know, risky move, you get more attack. I actually like risky move more than I like the lifesteal. He does have like a lifesteal sub theme, so you might want to pick something that has lifesteal, because instead of you could basically go all in on damage, and you can get the strength activation, which is going to give you damage when you heal. And when you heal, you know, you heal when you get lifesteal, right? So this will be triggered pretty much all the time. But I don't think that's that good for survivability, honestly. I think you want the Indomitable Spirit. Basically, if there's up to 4 enemies around him, he's going to take 40% reduced damage. That is insane. However, you don't typically want your character to be stronger depending on what the enemy does. You want them to be strong based on things you're doing. He is only good if the enemy is surrounding him and attacking him. And if the enemy is surrounding him, not even attacking him, he doesn't want them to attack him, but he'll accept it because he gets the damage reduction. He just wants them to be around him so he gets all this damage boost. And then he gets some pretty decent AoE with, like, you know, lifesteal, and then he gets a big boost of speed, and every five turns he gets a boost of speed and all of his energy back. And the falling comet dash is cool. It does 90% damage. If you start surrounded by enemies, you get a huge attack boost, and you're going to get the damage boost. This could do pretty good damage, but it's just like, you don't want the enemies to have to be around you. Like, as if you're fighting in PvP, right? They can move a character out of your range and attack at range. Or, I mean, I like falling comet dash, being able to get in there and, you know, on the first turn, hopefully. If you can't get it on the first turn, it's probably pretty bad. But if you could jump in, do speed 2 down to everybody, it's like, okay. And I don't think he's like a bad character, but as far as legendaries go, I feel like he's kind of narrow, and he's really good at doing something that I don't really think you need that much good at. If you really want someone to be surrounded and attacked without any taunting abilities, I think you want Alexi. Alexi is like the king of being attacked, because they get stacking lifesteal, stacking damage. Then they have big AoEs. They're impossible to kill. this guy's like, I want all the enemies around me, but I don't want them to attack me necessarily. So I just don't think he's very good overall. But I mean, I will play. I got mine up to level 60. I am going to use him in some content in the next day or two when I have more time to play. I'm going to just try him out, see if I could use him in tower, you know, see how much damage he could do to like large groups of enemies, maybe a few story chapters that are a little bit harder. See how it can just kind of run him through his paces. But as of right now, I think that this would be the fail state of the banner. And Nana is the success. Now you can see mine's only 32. I don't use Inanna. Why don't I use Inanna? Lots of reasons. One is she is good enough. She made the game too easy, and I just kind of stopped using her. But I still use Gloria and Simona, so that's not really as accurate as it was. So basically, she summons a guard at the start of the combat. She has these other things, like she could do buffs, you know, to people. She'll basically heal an ally, give them buffs, and which is like nice, you know. She's like a passive angel in a lot of ways, even stronger than angel in pretty much every way, but super strong. The guard is an extra unit, will protect. It's not strong, but it stands there and it takes a hit and it dies. Maybe it takes a couple hits. She gets the ability if you want. If you get this one here, you could summon more guards. You could teleport the guard directly in front of you, but if your guard is dead, you will summon a new guard, and you could use this multiple times per combat, depending on I think the level of your trait. But really, I mean, like, we can go through her abilities here, right? Like a big heal that could dispel 2 debuffs. She has actually a stacking damage thing, right? Gets more damage. For each character defeated within 5 tiles around the character, she gets more magic attack. I mean, this does increase her healing, of course. That's primarily what it's for. She does get a massive AoE heal. She turns invisible, so as long as they can't hit her with AoE, she just heals everybody by a ton. And gets, you know, she's very, very strong at that. But really, she's, in a lot of ways, she's a one-trick pony. She's a healer, and she has a guard. That's good. But really, it's about this. Allows one ally that's already acted to act again. And it even gives them a buff, an attack buff, and a magic defense buff. You could use it on the guard of the princess, and it says it heals them. You're just not going to do that, like, ever. It's weird that they even has this. Like, I can't imagine wanting to use your act again on the guard of the princess. It is terrible use for that. This is to give, you know, any, like, Beryl 2 turns, Simona 2 turns, Gloria an extra turn. You know, Gloria could throw down her thing, switch to her sword, give herself potential burst. Then you can give Gloria act again. Gloria can go up and do a big AoE hit. Like, there's so many combos. This ability is insanely strong. So why am I saying I don't think you should pull on this banner? One, because you might have to go to 360 pulls to get a Nana. Yes. And here's the thing. If you're there's let's just say there's 3 types of players in this game, okay? There are whales. Whales already have her. I guarantee you, whales already have her. Free-to-play players may not have her, but if you're free-to-play, you can't afford to potentially spend 360 summons to try to get a Nana. You just can't. There's too many good characters coming out still. You might get her because she's in the general pool. You want to just get her by luck, basically. And because she's not going to make or break your account. She's very powerful, but you can't afford to risk 360 summons as a free-to-play player to get an Nana. If you're a Dolphin player and you're willing to spend some money, just buy the selector, man. Just get the selector. Doesn't get updated from what I can see. I don't even know if it's in the shop anymore. I don't even think I could see it. But there's a selector in the shop. For 30 bucks, you could just buy her. If you're going to buy summons, just instead buy her and then be done with it. And now you got her. Boom, that's done. So there's like a better option. So whales already have her because they pulled a lot. Dolphins can just use the selector to get her. And free-to-play shouldn't spend this many summons on this character because it's twice as many summons as you might need to go to because it's a dual banner, you might need to go to 360 summons. If they release a brand new character that's power creeping like a Gust or whatever, you only have to go to 180 summons to guarantee him, and he's probably a more powerful character overall. So the people that should pull on this are potentially Dolphins who are willing to spend money, who already used their selector to pick a different unit that isn't Inanna, and are interested in PvP. I think she's going to be a PvP powerhouse the thing is, for PvE, she's good, But it's super important to remember, all right? If you care about PvE only, I think it's in here, right? You get Pursuit Order, right? Like really early in the game. And Pursuit Order allows a character to act again and gives them an attack buff too, right? And this actually gives them an attack 4 buff, so it even is stronger. In a lot of ways, this is a free-to-play way to get her most powerful, prevalent ability. If you need someone that can, you know, the thing is she does a lot in once, right? She's a healer. She gives you a tanky character, and not that tanky, but she gives you a scapegoat character, someone that'll save you from an attack or two. And she also gets act again. So she gets it all in one. And she's a really good healer. And she can do buffs. So in order to replace her, you're going to want to bring this if you instead of bringing her. And then you're going to want to bring Angel, probably as like the best healer. And not as good of a buffer, but almost, you know, not almost, but, you know, they can still buff. And then you're going to need to bring like an actual dedicated tank, probably. So you could like make it work without her. Absolutely. It's just too high of a cost. If I'm being completely honest, I can't even look at it right now, can I? No, it's too high of a cost. And don't get me wrong, she is good, but like, keep in mind, I don't even use her. I literally don't even use her on my own account. I haven't used her since level 32. And she's good. She is good, but it just like, it's so hard to justify it. If what people are saying is Auguster is as good as he is, if Sophia or whatever, Sophia coming out is as good as she's supposed to be, and they're like tier 0 OP powerful units. Like, I don't know exactly when they're coming out. I have no insider information there, but they're supposed to be insane. I don't think you could justify risking 360 summons. Maybe you throw a multi. Maybe you throw one multi in here to get it out of your system. That's not a wise decision, but it could be. It's an important to have fun with your game. So maybe just throw a multi in here to see if you get it. But I wouldn't recommend it. And again, Xavier, look how cool he is. He's so cool. He's got like a big old axe. I know it's like a halberd. It's like because he's a spear user, right? But again, Rawia uses a axe and she actually has a sword, I guess. But it doesn't matter. Point is, it looks like just like a cool two-handed axe. And just a fucking badass looking character. I really wish this solo carry was a little bit... I don't know. I don't know what he needs. I think he needs a better attack. Because this doesn't have a cooldown technically. I guess if you get up to 5 energy, you use this, and then you could use maybe Spear of Iria. You can't choose when it goes off, but then the next turn, you know, I don't know. But unfortunately, I just think that the chance that you could get him is just too bad. I mean, if you're comparing this to the other characters that are coming out, I mean, it's apples and oranges. You don't want to even... You don't need this guy, unfortunately. He's cool, he's fun. He's one of your favorite characters, use him, but don't spend money and resources to get him, in my opinion. But yeah, now I'm just kind of talking in circles. But that's all for tonight, guys. Tonight, it's 2 a.m. my time. I got to go to bed. Anyway, that is all, guys. Thank you very much. For Platypus is per Ploutapus. I'll see you on the flip-flops. Bye!
Turning on the screen with a laugh alive.